What's up, Revo fans? Today we've been out for our first taste on Giant's latest e-bike offering. Here we have the Trance Advanced Elite series. So what we've got is the Giant Cross Yamaha 85 Newton meter motor that we all know and love, matched with a 400 watt hour battery. So this bike is pretty unique, and it's kind of blurring the lines between the SL range of e-bikes and the full power, 600, 700, 800 watt hour batteries. And it's doing a really good job of it. I've been pretty intrigued this morning as I've sort of gotten used to the bike. Obviously I've ridden this motor before, and I've ridden the alloy version of the full power Trance, but this bike is very unique in the way that it rides down the trail because of its lighter weight. I'm not sure what this model weighs exactly, but I'd say it's somewhere right around that 20 kilo mark, maybe even a little bit less. It feels very nimble on the trail, so it certainly feels a little bit less on the trail when you're trying to flick around. Climbing in particular, it feels quite light. It's coming out of the box as a mullet as well, which we haven't seen a whole lot of from Giant. Generally, they sort of tend to be leaning towards some full 29ers, but this bike comes specifically as a mullet, which plays very well around Giant's Maestro link. Generally, for the full 29ers, I find that the back end on the Giants seem to be a little bit too long for me and the way that I like to ride. But because we've got a smaller rear wheel, we've got that tucked up nicely underneath myself, and the Maestro suspension is working really well. So I'm still curious to really wrap my fingers around this thing entirely. I'm not sure what kind of battery range we're gonna get. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve, and you could probably get a little bit too excited and carried away in your higher power modes. And drain that battery right down. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful with that if we're adventuring too far away from home. But so far so good. The bike is very playful. I did ride it on some trails this morning that was probably a little bit over its head for its 140 millimeters of travel. So 140 millimeters out the rear, taken care of by the Maestro linkage system, and we've got a 150 millimeter fork. This bike's coming with some Fox suspension, and it's also coming spec'd with a Shimano SLX group set, basically from top to tail. So it's got a pretty nice spec on it. Full carbon fiber frame as well in this beautiful metallic blue paint. So it's a very good looking bike. Giant have done a really good job of concealing the battery, and obviously being a full power motor, it's tricky to conceal that entirely inside the frame like the SL bikes do. But I think it looks pretty svelte, pretty sleek, and yeah, really excited to spend some more time on it and figure out if this is going to be a viable option for other brands. Like, is this going to be a bike that people really are going to gravitate towards, more power for that lighter weight battery? So yeah, stay tuned, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be bringing more content on this bike shortly.